There are pains we carry deep inside that no one else can see. You still smile at work, still laugh with friends, but each night becomes a quiet battle. Maybe you've lost someone you loved, maybe you trusted someone completely and were betrayed. Maybe the dreams you've chased for years silently fell apart, and sometimes you wonder, where is God in all of this? The truth is, God hasn't abandoned you. He sees what you cannot see. When every plan you made falls apart, when every door you knock on stays shut, it's not punishment, it's protection. You're being pulled away from what was never meant for you, the wrong relationships, the dreams that drained you, the paths that led to nowhere. You're still breathing, still standing, and that alone is proof that you're on the road to renewal. You may not understand why everything collapsed, but believe this, no pain is ever wasted. And if you've ever felt like you gave it your all but nothing worked out, then it's time to step into the next chapter, where the truth behind why it didn't work will finally be revealed. You once gave it everything, staying up late, rising early, doing the right thing even when it was hard. Yet in the end, it still didn't work out. The job you hoped for never came. The person you loved walked away. The dream that felt so close suddenly slipped through your fingers. And then you ask yourself, if I gave it my all, why did I still fail? That failure wasn't because you weren't good enough. It happened because it wasn't meant for you. Not every prayer gets answered, not because God is indifferent, but because He's protecting you from things you're not ready to face. Sometimes a closed door is the one thing keeping you from walking into a bigger mistake. A relationship ending might have saved your heart. A rejection might have shielded you from a future full of confusion. You are not being abandoned. You are being prepared. What you lost wasn't a loss, but a holy redirection. So if you're wondering whether all of this leads somewhere, whether this silence has a purpose, then keep walking into the next chapter. The plan you still can't see. In the moments that feel the most empty, that's often when God is quietly building something great for you. You may feel like everything is standing still, no progress, no signs, no answers. But just like a tree must first send its roots deep into the ground before it can grow tall into the sky, you are being grounded in silence, in darkness. This isn't a delay, it's the preparation you need to stand strong when the storms come. God is never in a hurry. He doesn't need to reveal everything right away. Because if He showed you the full plan from the start, you might panic, doubt, or try to take control your own way. Instead, He leads you step by step, through small doors, quiet trials, so your faith is formed not through knowing, but through trusting. You might not see any results today, but inside you a new strength is being forged, the strength to receive the very blessing you've been praying for. And when you finally begin to understand that silence is preparation, not abandonment, then you'll be ready for the next chapter. When life breaks you, where you'll discover how breaking down can be the beginning of a stronger version of you. Sometimes, in order to build something strong, life has to break you first. Not because you're weak, but because the old version of you can't carry the journey ahead. What you once trusted, a relationship, a job, a dream, may have collapsed in an instant, and now you feel like a shattered piece that can't be put back together. But it's in that very moment that you are being remade. God doesn't use the perfect to create something great. He uses hearts that have been broken, but still choose to rise. The pain you've endured is not meaningless. It's like fire refining gold, like pressure turning coal into diamonds. It strips away what's false, reveals what truly matters, and brings you back to the person you were always meant to be. Remember, the most beautiful souls aren't the ones who've never fallen. They are the ones who have stumbled, bled, and still chose to love, still chose to move forward. And if you've ever thought that God was silent in the middle of your storm, then step into the next chapter. God always works in silence, where you'll discover His quiet, powerful presence, even in your darkest hours. Perhaps what scares us most isn't the pain. It's the silence. That feeling like your prayers go unheard, like you're screaming into a void. But the truth is, God is not absent. He is working, in silence, in the shadows, in those moments when you feel most alone. When you collapse, He doesn't turn away. He's quietly rebuilding you, piecing together the fragments of your heart into a stronger version. Even when your tears fall unseen by others, God sees, and not one drop is wasted. There are things you've begged for, a person, an opportunity, a way out, but received no answer. Not because you weren't worthy, but because He's protecting you from what you can't yet see. The betrayal, the heartbreak, the collapse hiding behind what you thought was a blessing. Believe this. God's silence isn't abandonment. It's the deepest form of love. He's not stepping back. He's preparing something bigger, something deeper, meant just for you. And once you understand that every silence has a reason, every loss has a purpose, then step with me into the final chapter, where the closing message will remind you, God has never stopped writing your story. If you don't see anything changing right now, remember, silence doesn't mean it's over. It's the moment when God is quietly preparing something better, something beyond what you imagined, but exactly what you deserve. Not being in control isn't failure. It's an invitation to trust. Let go of the anger tied to the past, the fear of the future, and the need to understand everything. Surrender, not in despair, but in faith, because you are being guided by the one who already knows every step you'll take, even when you can't see the light ahead. You have never been forgotten. You've never been left behind. What's coming, beyond all expectations, is a gift of divine love. And if something inside your heart is stirring right now, don't keep it to yourself. Share this video with someone who needs hope. Because maybe, just maybe, you are the bridge that leads them to the healing God already has in store.